So welcome back to our channel, that is AI next generation. So in the previous video we already have been seen about the Python list, Python list string, Python operator. So this particular video belongs to the Python tuples and the sets we are going to use in the Python. Okay, we have to understand these two things. Really, it is really important concept in the Python. Okay, so whenever you are doing the programming, so you have to aware about the tuples, you have to know about the sets in the particular Python. So first of all I will say you about the tuple. So tuple and the list, if you have just gone through the previous video, that was the list in the Python. In that everything I have explained you about the list. Okay, list are basically a mutable. So the difference between the list and tuple is one. So tuple is basically the immutable. So what do you mean by immutable? Means once you define the tuples, okay, when you define the tuple inside the value, you can't change that one. Okay, that already we have seen in the string also. Whenever you're just defining any string and you can't change any substring or sub character inside the string. Okay, so because they are the immutable. Okay, so tuple are basically immutable. Okay, so you can't change any value once you define the tuple. That's it, that they are the fixed. Okay, so in the list you have the you can add the value inside the list, you can remove the things inside the read, you can just remove the value, you can extend, you can just append. There are a lot of things you are just seen in the list in the Python. But in the tuples everything is the similar to the list, but there is only one difference, that you can't add any value inside the tuple, and you can't remove any value inside the tuple. Okay, once the tuple has been created, that is the fix. Okay, so I will start with the same. Yes, the previous also I'm just taking the place name. So I can just take a place name, and I can just start with the first one. I will just leave the Delhi, and the second I'm just giving the Hyderabad, and the third one I'm just giving something in Goa. Yeah, and the fourth one I'm just giving Pune. Okay, I'm taking random stuff. So here you are just defining the tuple. To define the tuple, you have to use the parenthesis for this. Okay, this bracket you have to define for the tuples, but this is the optional. So first of all I will say you what type of this particular place is. Okay, PLAC, and you will see, sorry, I have written TYEP, so it's like TYP. Okay, okay, so this is the class of the tuple. Okay, you are able to see this one, but once it's like it is compulsory that you have to take the bracket of this. It's not any compulsory, you can just do this way also. Even you are doing the this way and you are just running this one, even this is also a tuple class. But this bracket are in the standard form. So whenever you are just creating the tuple, okay, so this in the standard form you are just writing. Okay, you are just writing everything in the that particular bracket that you are just calling as a tuple. Okay, so it's not compulsory that without the bracket you are not calling as a tuple. So please be remember this one. So yeah, that was about the tuple. And inside the tuple you can't do any, you can't add any value, that is you can't do any append function that we are using in the list. You can't remove any value inside the list. So if you want to change, suppose if you can access, and the rest, that is a indexing and slicing is really similar than what you have just done in the particular list. Okay, so if you want to do indexing of the first, means you want the Delhi, first one the Delhi. Okay, so you can just do the first place, you can just pass, and you can just getting is Delhi. This is the indexing. The second position is particular the Hyderabad, means the index of Hyderabad is 1, and the third position is a Goa. Okay, so you can just pass the index is the 2, and similar you can just do the indexing of this. Okay, so that is the similar way what we have done in the string also, and what we have done with the list also. Okay, now even you can go for the slicing also. I've explained the same concept. If you want the Delhi and Hyderabad both, then you have to start with the 0 and in with the 2. Okay, so this particular 2 is excluded. Okay, it will run it will just give you the slicing of the value from 0 and 1 value only. Okay, that is it will just give you the Delhi and Hyderabad, that's it. Okay, this is the slicing concept. If you want the Goa also, then you can just pass this 0 and 3. I have explained this thing about the indexing and slicing more depth in the particular list. You can just go and watch about if you don't know about the much about the indexing and slicing. Okay, so this was about the indexing and slicing. You can perform as it is what you have done in the list also. Okay, and again you can just see list also follow the order. So what order inside the tuple also follow the order. So once you define the tuple, so suppose you are just defining this tuple. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and you are just saying 1 comma 3 comma 1 comma 3 comma 2. Okay, so what you are just saying, you are just saying that a whether a is equal to b. So it will just give you the return as a false, because the value inside the things is the same, 1 2 3, and it has also three value, that is a 1 2 3. Okay, but the position are interchange. Okay, so for the tuple also position matter. Okay, so this is really important properties of the tuple. So you can just say the two properties of tuples, that is the tuple are basically immutable. You can't add any value inside the tuple, you can't change any value inside the tuple. So I can just show you, if you want to change the first position. Okay, the first position you are just writing like place, I can just show, so you can just be more practical with this. The first position is the particular, you are doing the Delhi, but in place of Delhi you don't want Delhi, you want any XYZ place. Okay, but it will give you error because you can't do this thing for the tuple, because type error, tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay, so you can't assign any value for the tuple. Okay, once you create the tuple, that is a fixed. Okay, so you can't do this thing in the tuple. Okay, so I think it's clear to you about the tuples and how there is a working of the tuples. That was the exact definition of the tuple. Okay, so and there is one difference between the list and the tuple, is the list is a mutable, so and tuple is a mutable for that. Okay, and rest what you are just doing in the list, like indexing, slicing and everything, you can just perform the same as it is in the tuple also. Okay, unless you can't do any you can't add any value and you can't remove any value inside the list. Okay, sorry, inside the tuple. Clear? So now the thing is that now we will move to the sets. Okay, so what do you mean by sets? So sets, whenever you are just defining, you are just using the curly bracket for that. Okay, so this curly bracket, again curly braces, again we are just using for the dictionary also, that we will look in the next video. Okay, but it's like compulsory that you have to just define in this way? No, you in for this particular set, if you are just defining any set, you can just write set this one also. Okay, so suppose you already have the place. Okay, this already you have the place. Okay, you want to convert this place into a set, so what you can just write here, just set, write set, and in place of that you just write place. Okay, so you are just converting the place into a set. Okay, you are able to see. So but what is set? Okay, so basically sets we are just using whenever the important properties of set is that whenever you are just defining any inside value inside the sets, okay, they will return as a unique, means there is a no repetition of that. I will just give you the example. First of all, if you are just writing a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 100 comma, again you are just writing 2, again you are writing 1, and you are writing something 3 and 9, again 3. Okay, so repetition is no, whenever you will just create, whenever you will just call this particular a. Okay, so repetition, it is not, it will just return a unique value that is in the that you have just defined here. Okay, so you have defined, and the thing is that there is a no fixed position of that, means you can't access any value with the help of indexing in the sets. Okay, so once you are just running this particular sets, you are able to see you are just returning the unique value of that. You are just returning 1 2 3 900 when because it will just not allow to use the any repetition value. Okay, it will not return you any repetition value, that you are just writing 2 times, and 3 also you are just writing 3 times or 2 times, and you are just getting an answer of the sets of 1 2 3 9 and 100. That's it. Okay, means repetition means whenever you are just writing the repetition number. Okay, so whenever you just print the sets, so only the unique number will be displayed. Okay, that is the properties of the sets. And the second properties is that sets are unordered. So what we have seen in the list and what we have seen in the tuples, that they follow the order. Okay, but in this particular they does not follow any order. You can just write something that I can just create a sets for that, and you are just writing something XYZ, then you are just writing ABC, and just writing 1 comma 2, and you are just writing mm, PRT something. I am just writing random. Okay, and you are just calling this one. Okay, so they are unordered, every time their position is interchange. Okay, so 1 and 2 it has been written here, and ABC it is written here. Okay, so position does not matter for this particular sets. Okay, you should be more clear about this. So this was the about the sets. Again we will just take a some inbuilt function. Okay, inbuilt function that already had been defined, and we are going to use how the intersection, how the union, and how the differentiate you are just going to use in this particular sets. Okay, okay, just first of all what you are just creating, you are just creating, suppose I can just create a language, something Python language. Okay, so you are just creating a computer language, you can just say computer language. The first you are just creating a sets of Python, and then after you are just creating another, that is a C++. Again you are just creating a C. Okay, the three thing you are just writing here. And again whenever you are just creating another particular sets. Okay, you are just writing lang, this is a 2, you are just writing 2, and you are just writing this one as a 1. That's it. Okay, now you are just writing here, you are just writing Java. Okay, and again you are just writing C++. Again you are just writing C++. Again you are just writing Python, and again you are just writing something. You can just write Ruby. Okay, I'm just writing random. Okay, you are getting two particular sets. One set is consist of Python, C++, and C, and the second set consists of Java, C++, Python, and Ruby language. Okay, these two particular you are just passing. Now what I will just say you, if you want to find the intersection of this, so intersection basically means the unique between them. Okay, so how you can just do this one. Okay, so what you can just write here, you can just write here print first of all, and then here you are just writing the first comp language 1, and then in that place you are just writing intersection. Okay, intersection of that, and you are just return on which particular intersection you are just doing. You are just doing the intersection of this particular language too. Okay, so what do you mean by about this? So what you are just performing here, you are just performing, or I have just written something spelling mistake, comp language 1 and comp language 2. Okay, so we're saying the name comp lang is not defined. Oh sorry, comp. Yeah, I've just changed the variable name. So what you are just returning, you are just returning C++ and the Python. I think you know about the, if you know about the AND gate, leave it about the AND gate, it will be like quite complicated. So here what you're just defining, what will be the unique value between them, like intersection you are just doing Python, and Python it is also present, means the unique value between the both. Okay, the Python is present here also and the Python is present here also. Okay, so intersection of this will return the Python, and C++ is present here also and C++ is present here also. So intersection of this particular comp lang 1 and comp lang 2 will return you C++ and the Python. Okay, but this Java is not there in the comp language 1, and also Ruby is not there in the comp lang 1. Okay, so basically this intersection means the unique value between the two or you can just say not a unique value, the similar value that is present in both the sets, that that they will just return. That is the use of the intersection. Again you can just do the union also. I think it's like the similar, you can just write, copy this one. Okay, so you can just write, you can just paste in place of intersection, just write union. Okay, so you can see union. So union, what it will return you, it will just give you everything, C++, C, Ruby, Java, and Python. Okay, so it will just give you, it's like an OR gate, a and a or something, 1 0 equal to 1, 0 1 equal to 1, 0 0 0 and 1 1 1. Okay, so if you don't know about OR gate and AND gate, don't worry. So intersection means you what value there in the Python also, you're just writing the Python, and you're writing Java, you're writing C++, means any value it is satisfied will just give the another set. Like Python it is present here, but Python it is not present, it is present also here, then it will just give 1 1 equal to 1, it will return Python. Okay, and again C++ it is there, C++ it is there, it will also return the C++. C is present here, but C is not present in this particular, this two second sets. Okay, so it will also return here, because 1 0 equal to 1 also, because that is the sets concept, that is the use of the union. And this section is basically the AND gate. If this particular Python is present in A and Python is present in second list also, then after that it will just return. Okay, but C is present in the first sets and C is not present in the second set, but it will not return that one. Okay, so this was the about the use of intersection and use of the even union. Okay, so they are the really easy, and even you can just say the difference between them. You can just do this one also. So I can just do, yeah, you can just write here and you can just write difference. Okay, difference, so it will just return the difference between the comp1 and comp2. That's it. Okay, so this was the really easy for you, and I don't think so you have doubt in this particular. Okay, so now this was the all about the sets and what about the tuples. So if you are really clear about the sets and the tuple, so we can just move for the next video, that is we are going to use, that is a dictionary. We will go and see about the dictionary, what is the use of the dictionary in the next video. But this was about the Python tuple. So Python tuple was really easy, you are able to see, and what is difference between the Python and list I have just said you, and what are the sets and what are the use of the sets. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you like my channel, please subscribe my video. Thank you.